Japan a playable nation?
I don't remember.
I think so, yes.
I don't know. I know I was looking for some nation that I didn't see, and I can't remember who.
Maybe
it
it was Japan. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I saw.
At first one I thought I saw Japan, but I don't know.
I don't think it was there.
It may have been France.
I know France was there.
No,
I know
France was there, but
UK was there.
Yeah, Russia, Italy. Who else? I think Japan may have been missing.
Yeah, it might
know.
have been.
I don't know. Anyway, back to the actual discussion.
Yeah, but even if you have a country like Japan, you can experiment. I don't know if this is PC enough, but things like kamikaze bombers.
Yeah.
I think that's what you're probably alluding to, right?
Well, yeah, that too. And also, just I thought because I thought I didn't see Japan there. I was thinking like they just completely left out.
Yeah, maybe that's not
army.
okay. I don't know. It's probably uncool to put that in a video game, but again, that's something you could.
We live in an era where you create games where you can run around with a chainsaw on the end of a rifle and cut people in half. I think kamikaze bombers are
well, at least that doesn't have any political implications. I think people would flip a if there was some stuff going on with kamikaze bombers, experimental human warfare, and in an RTS.
I mean, look at Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein is all about the experimental human things.
Yeah, I'm sure someone would definitely lose.
But that also goes on the end of like the supernatural, because there was like creatures and zombies and all that kind of stuff. It kind of like bordered on unrealism.
That was based somewhat in fact, not like the zombies, but the fact that Hitler being obsessed with the occult and sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that had some basis.
Anyway, I think this game is really good. I just wish I knew how to play. People are playing and doing really well, so people are wiping the floor with me, which means this game does have what I'm looking for. I just need to find it.
There's one thing
learning curve.
There's one thing that I'm really, really annoyed about is that I can't figure out a way to rotate the table.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Did you find a way to do that?
I don't think you can.
That needs to be fixed.
I'm sitting there. I'm like thinking of every like regular thing. You're holding down Alt, holding down Control, M, all of these things. And I'm like, how do I rotate this? And I can't. I don't think there's an ability to do so.
Yeah, you have to press all the buttons at once.
Yes.
Yeah, smash your face into the keyboard. You can rotate the camera. That'll be a button.
This was
this is where you have to press the NE key.
Yeah.
You have to press Alt F4.
I couldn't find the NA key, and E-Machine someone to go myself.
But like R.U.S.E was my most anticipated RTS of last year because I thought it was supposed to come out fall of last year. Besides Halo Wars, of course. But it was basically because of the trailer that I watched where they had the two people standing in on this touchscreen table right there, and you could touch it, and it just looked so realistic. And I watched the trailer hundreds of times because of that, and I kind of like it that you can kind of transition from a table to like the actual battle. If you do the side scrolling thing.
I like that where you can zoom out all the way out to just
like
get,
you're
like,
in like a submarine or something.
Like you can zoom all the way out and just get like this grandmaster view, or you can zoom down to like soldier level to see what's happening. I like that. That was really cool.
Yeah,
it was really cool, and this game is kind of disappointing, but at the same time, I'm still psyched for it.
So let's just, as wrapping this up, what are your odds of buying it on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being there's no question in my mind. 1 being I'm not touching this with a 10-foot pole. What are your odds of buying it?
I would say 7.5 for me.
Yeah, I'd say about like a 7 or an 8. I mean, I like the way this is turning out so far. I mean. And the best part is, this is just a beta. It's not even a demo.
Yeah, that's great, because they did a VIP beta, they did this beta, and they're really trying to find out what do people think, what do they want, and they're really working.
I think they're also doing this just to try to get people to like this game because nobody really knows about it.
So, I mean, for me, it's probably going to be like a 5 or a 6, but Twisted, if you get it, it'll go up to like a 6, 7, 8-ish. Mm-hmm. But I just have to learn how to play this game. That's the biggest thing. Mm. Alright, moving on, we got our NPDs from, what month was it? February? That's the last month we just passed. I don't know what month it is.
No, I think it was August.
Alright, so looking down this list, basically we're just going to pick out things that, see what do we think. What do you think about Bioshock 2 being on top there? I think it was pretty much the only big release, wasn't it?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, that kind of deserves its spot where it is.
Yeah, but it didn't sell a lot. It's about 500K, which is respectable. And going down, everything seems pretty normal, except maybe Just Dance being 4. I don't understand. I don't
Why,
get it.
people? Why?
I don't understand why that game is selling. It's like we have all these complicated games with parachutes and grappling hooks and all this deep content of like wild and crazy things, and we just want to dance. We don't just dance. Just dance it out.
I was more surprised that Dante's Inferno for the PS3 sold more than the Xbox.
I'm surprised that Dante's Inferno is selling a lot because there's a lot of anti-Dante's Inferno going on right now.
Well, that's... I really like it.
I'm surprised to see it in the top 10.
Both times in the top 10.
Yeah, and on 2 consoles. I'm very much surprised to see that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, I'm personally probably going to get it for the PlayStation 3 because, you know, the PS3's controller doesn't really, you know...
No, you just want it for the PS3 because it comes in the Divine Edition.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that too, obviously, but the PS3
God.
controller doesn't really hit me well with the first-person shooters, and I really think that the PS3 controller, for me personally, is really good for button smashers and like those kinds of games.
Yeah, you got a good point.
So I think I'm gonna get it for the PlayStation.
And just missing, so on the on these MPD reports, we kind of we don't get the second half to the top 20 until later, but we get a little bit of where they might place. Aliens vs. Predator is number 11, just missing the top 10. I am pretty happy to see that, actually. I like that game. It's getting a lot of bad press, but I'm really happy to see it that high on the list.
I thought it was really good, but I kind of wish that it was, you know, in a more like, you know, I don't really want to see Just Dance there because I don't really want to play that game.
Well, you know, when it says Wii next to it, it's all relative because you know you got to think about that audience again. Nothing against them, you got to think about it.
Yeah. I mean, what I'm confused is how Heavy Rain outsold Aliens vs. Predator. I mean,
yeah, and considering it was released 4 days before this was due, so it sold a lot in 4 days. Considering nobody really cared about it.
I mean, it's Heavy Rain. It's an interactive movie. It's the same thing as going to like.
But it's fun.
It's
fun.
It's the same thing as going to like your local movie theater, and then
Well,
there's
there
like
is
some buttons on
there
your
is
chair.
walking around. There is
Hey,
stuff to do.
I wanted to put it on the top 10 of the decade because it kind of revolutionized how you play a video game.
It kind of created a new genre.
Yeah,
It broke some new ground, but you know, gamers will debate that it's not.
It was no Borderlands. It didn't create a new genre and then take off.
Yeah, but you know, maybe it's one of those conduit games because PlayStation is consistently trying to get people to think one more reason not to buy a Wii. That whole thing. Mm-hmm. It only does everything. Now they're getting the motion controllers with the Move, which we'll talk about later. Mm-hmm. And you know, now we have. It's not a light game because it's very intense, but it's just pressing a few buttons and you're going through a very visceral experience. I think it's kind of like this gateway game into the PS3. Mm-hmm. It really builds a bridge for a new audience. I think Sony's kind of thinking a little bit deeper about it. Maybe that's what that game's about, really. But I think Heavy Rain demands respect. I know a lot of gamers go, all you're doing is pressing buttons at random. What's the point in that? And you have a point. You know, it's like that's a case, but there's the Heavy Rain. There's something there. I haven't really played it. There's something awesome about Heavy Rain.
I mean, the story is nice. I mean, like if Heavy Rain the movie came out, aka they just throw away the controller.
I think isn't that happening?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm pretty sure that is happening.
It was announced in 2006 when they first released content about it when they did a technology demo in E3 2006.
Well, then again, they said they're going to make a Halo movie, and we all see how that turned out.
It was supposed to come out like 2007, 2008. Obviously not.
Oh god. All right.
Also, apparently at 2000, we were all supposed to die from a nuclear holocaust, but that didn't happen either.
Oh,
I mean,
speaking of
that's my fault. I lost the button. I'm sorry.
Oh god. You know, just while I was talking about end of the world jokes, I just want to throw this out there for the Diablo 3 fans. If the world ends in 2012, Diablo 3, we would have died before playing that game. I just want to make everyone very much aware of that. So
I will find a way to survive so I can play that game.
it's I think earliest is like 2012.
Really? I heard that it was supposed to earliest was like at the end of this year.
It's StarCraft 2 maybe. StarCraft 2 is this year. But maybe you're thinking about that.
Yeah,
both of those games are probably never going to come out.
If the